Dad, look at the droid selling queso.
It's not polite to talk about others like that.
It's okay, kids. What are the chances he's gonna hear us?
It's high. It's very high. Don't worry. You can make up for your embarrassment by procuring some of my queso. It has flavor.
Only K2's Mucho Queso is made from a blend of Bantha and Thala siren milks.
Here, ingest this.
Ew, it stinks.
I could say the same for you.
What?
This is so good.
Congratulations. Your taste buds are being rescued.
Daddy, let's buy it.
Your behavior, young lady, is continually unexpected.
Rebels will love the home-style meltiness of K2's Mucho Queso. The Empire? Well, Marva said it best.
Let's get going, kids.
Try K2's Mucho Queso. You'll love it. Cassian said you had to.
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy far and south.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman, and
Fred Hoffman.
We're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 211. Today we are not alone. We have fellow Midwest Garrison member and friend, Eric Warner. How are you, my friend?
I am very well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
I see all the pop-ups all the time. And thank you for asking me.
Yes. We're super excited because we're going to be talking about C2E2 and
C2E2.
Yeah, it's coming up. We might be having we might have a countdown on the chalkboard. It's we're at like 9 days of this recording.
Yeah,
9 days.
So please don't tell me that. I got so much to do for
You're already
this
like breaking
thing.
in a cold sweat. Like
Yeah.
Twitch. So let's see what's been happening. You're on spring break.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
Good.
Good. You enjoying your spring break?
Mhm.
Yeah. Nice.
Usually
Nice.
just chilling.
Chilling. Yeah.
Really? You just chilling?
Just chilling.
Yeah. No,
You know,
No
getting up
video
at like
games? No nothing?
no, I've been playing video games. Yeah.
yeah, playing a little Fortnite.
Fortnite, just watching TV, watching Stranger Things. That's very fun.
Yeah, we've been watching Stranger Things.
Animal I've been playing with you. That's a really good game.
Yeah, and he sleeps until like 11. You know, I just
Ought to be young again.
I know. I'm like, I'm ready for lunch, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, can I have some Rice Krispies?" It's like,
That's
oh
rough,
man,
That's rough.
I'm already halfway through my day before the time you even wake up. You know,
Exactly.
So that's been fun, and we're gonna go see some wrestling this weekend too.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see some SmackDown. So
Where are they at?
maybe your favorite wrestler, CM Punk, will be there. Eric.
I love CM Punk. I want to say I saw something with him in it. So I think he may be in town.
He might be in town.
Yeah,
My
I
favorite
saw-
wrestler of all time.
So the inside joke here, guys, is that I really like CM Punk. So does Trent. And I think it was Rudy's R2 you had, the silver one. And so we decided to kind of go over by CM Punk. This was one of the C2E2s. And he's all by himself. And he says he's a Star Wars fan.
He does say that.
He does say that. And we were, Eric's doing his little thing. He's being cute with the R2, and he didn't bite. He
would have thought that
sold it.
droid was going to give him a disease. He was petrified of it.
No, he had a Black Plague mask.
Right. No, he was like, Voop, and we're like, there's no one around you. You could like come up and say hi.
I get it if he's in another city, but this is supposedly his city, Chicago.
He
right?
lives in
His hometown boy and
Chicago.
all that,
Yeah,
and-
so that's the running joke between Eric and I about CM Punk. But
Yeah, I stuttered so bad when I thought
what's that?
when I saw him. I stuttered.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I still remember you, little T. You wanted to know the inside joke, and it's like, no, you can't. We can't tell you. But he is my favorite. Honestly, I'm not lying to you.
You're right,
Mark
right.
Cross,
I'm
he's
not
my
lying.
favorite.
Yeah. So, we have to give everybody a benefit of doubt, but I mean, he cold sold it. He didn't.
He might
even-
have just had a very long day.
I don't know, but we made eye
You have a long
contact
day
a
when
couple
it's 7 in the
times.
morning.
Yeah, it's like we are making. We're just there's no one around. Like I can understand if it was like, because we've done that too, where we've done like where we're doing kind of like the
March.
kind of march, and we're trying to get in front of people, and they got like a huge line, and they said, "Hey, come by our booth," and then there's a huge line, like I can't do it. I get that, but it was whatever. It's a thing.
Funny side note to the continuation of the CM Punk one is that I took Rudy's droid out to the queue line to drive it up and down.
Right.
And CM Punk was in like walking to the Starbucks line, and no one was recognizing him or talking to him. So it's like, here's a guy who's going to give you an opportunity to have like, you can use your phone and take a selfie with it, do whatever, and have some fun.
Yeah.
And you're snubbing me. But when you go to the Starbucks line, everyone's snubbing you. So like instant karma. I'm like, this is awesome.
This is great. See, told you. Be kind to others, people.
That's right.
Or karma's gonna get you, brother.
That's the best thing when somebody I love like
he's in this kick with these Karen videos. I'm like, do not watch these, please.
Or
do
like,
not watch these.
It's just funny. That
You're gonna run into them anytime, so just don't watch them.
No, I just some guy was just probably being a jerk and he ran over some guy wanted the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Fell over. The guy who was running ran into a pole and was like,
Oh, yeah. Well, it
but
happens.
it's just funny just seeing those random videos. It's like,
well, let's try to keep the brain rot to a minimum.
it's not brain rot.
It is.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. That's why you sleep till 11, because you're up too late watching reels on your phone. I know this.
Yes, Eric is very wise. He knows.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm seasoned.
Yes, seasoned. That's it. That's it. All right. How about we get into our main topic? And our main topic is Eric. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh boy.
So let's start with
definitely
an easy
going to be your
question.
lowest viewed podcast ever.
It's like me and you watched it. That was it.
I won't watch it because I lived it. So it's like you may have only one viewer.
Well, we'll try our best here. Tell us a little bit about how you got into Star Wars. Where did that origin story start for you?
Well, I'm old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was around to see the originals in the theater.
Awesome.
So
do you remember that? Because again, like,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know where I saw them.
okay,
And this is back in the day when, let's say I'd been 8.
8.
Parents could drop you off at the theater, and you wouldn't have to worry about being,
thugged.
I'd still be there when that was over.
You're right.
So,
right.
I mean, I saw every opportunity I could to see Star Wars.
Really?
And from the opening crawl through the Death Star blowing up and the end march, I have loved Star Wars since then.
Since then.
Tried to get as many figures as I could.
Yes.
I can remember, again, dating myself, standing in line to see Empire Strikes Back, standing in line to see Jedi. Then there was the Gap, and I found the Timothy Zahn novels,
Books,
Heir to the Empire and stuff like that. And it got me right back in. And then the next thing you know, it's the prequels, and and then it's walking past the 501st at the Bartlett Parade, and I tell my wife I would love to join them.
So
and
what?
like,
so what year is that?
2013.
2013.
The year I was born.
The year that you were born.
There you go. So you are my living clock. I can just go, hey, how old are you? And now I know
how old are you?
Now I know how long I've been in the garrison.
So 2013, you're at the Bartlett. For those that don't know this, it's called the Death March because the Bartlett Parade is like literally one of the longest parade routes.
Like 2.5 miles. Of course, they do it on a Sunday in the weekend around July 4th.
And right.
it kicks off at 1:00. So let's do it at the hottest point of the day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're at midday. You're melting like you're on Twin Suns at Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's
If I could, I probably couldn't do that. With
no,
my
you could
job.
not do that.
With
No,
Jawa.
no.
No, I. Like,
You almost passed out at Fan Expo last year. Like, Dad, I'm so hot.
No, I had fans, but there was no like what's it called, like
Ventilation.
Ventilation. It was
Yeah.
just my constant like everything, and so like, just like I.
Well, you'll have
Okay.
to do a trial run.
Yeah.
So you'll have to come up and do Carol Stream 4th of
Okay.
July parade.
Yeah.
And then you can hang out at my house because my house is right at the starting point.
Nice.
So if you do drop,
Yeah.
we'll feed you and make fun of you, but we'll still take care of you.
Right.
And then and that one's only a mile. So if you
Yeah.
can do that,
Yeah.
when it's over, we'll make you walk back instead of giving you a ride.
Right.
And then you can walk the Death March for 2 days later.
Yeah. No, I did that. I did the Death March my first time. I'm like, this is brutal, man. This is
Oh yeah.
this is something else. But anyway, so you're 2013. You're there. Roasting your butt off, and you're like, I like Star Wars, and I like what the 501st does. Like, so what happened after that?
I asked a member about joining,
Okay.
and they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a stormtrooper. And of course, this was a rebel that I had asked who was working on their car and, taking everything down. And they're like, well, I'm not the person you need to talk to. I'm like, well, this is starting off good.
I'm a rebel. I don't
Yeah.
talk about Imperial stuff.
So I went over to the big tent because they were all done and, doing what they always do, having a picnic and all that stuff. And got introduced to the commanding officer, Brian Troyan, and, just a typical spiel that we now tell everybody, go onto the boards, create an account, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
People will help you.
Yeah.
And I did all the reading and stuff that I was supposed to do, ordered an RS kit.
Nice.
Because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
And went from there. Got it a couple months later and put it on and took some photos, and that was it.
Bada bing, bada boom. So
Pretty much.
were you in by 2013 then? At the end of 2013 you were in, or was it 2014 when you?
No, I'm in October 13.
Wow, that escalated quickly, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have to always thank the Blackhawks because I had season tickets and I sold all my playoff tickets that year. So
no way.
With the profit that I got from the Blackhawks going to the Stanley Cup, I used some of that money to buy my first Stormtrooper.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Blackhawks, for being really good.
Yeah.
Wow. So you that's what you did. You just sold the tickets and got the money you needed.
Yeah, we've learned how to do it because we also did it in 2010 and all that kind of stuff. So this is something I've always said I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And my wife really did push me into actually going and talking to them and getting the ball rolling.
Nice.
But I would bet you to this day she would, if she could invent a time machine, she'd go back and change that scenario.
Why is that, Eric?
Oh no, I'm just kidding. No, I've found the balance. That's what it really comes down to.
That's
those first couple years you're doing, I don't know, I think I averaged 55 troops a year.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, so it's one a week, and if you really base it like that, and it, and I did get back into playing hockey.
Oh,
so now it's hockey, trooping, work, better find lifestyle. Right. So the trooping kind of backs down because hockey's more consistent.
Yeah.
Right now,
right now,
Where do you play at? What position?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I play left wing. Okay. I shoot righty, so I like being on the off wing. So when I kind of get the pass, I just can one time it up and go from there. It's more, I do more inline now.
What's that?
So it's inline skates. So
okay.
It's an inline skate, local rink.
Yeah.
And now starting our, I played 3 times a week now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but my Monday, Wednesdays are at 5:30. So like I said, I'm home by 7.
Okay.
And it's still got time to do stuff. So
spend time.
Spend time. That's right. That's right.
Yep. You got to find that balance, or you're going to find yourself in the doghouse.
More ways than one. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
When did you start playing hockey?
I started playing late in high school.
Okay.
So I've always played ice and inline. Since then, kind of took a slow break just because life changes and all that.
Yeah.
We really got into the Star Wars stuff, and then hockey kind of worked its way back in, and now again trying to find some balance.
There you go. There you go.
Get some exercise.
And get some exercise. That's right.
That's right. I didn't have to hit the treadmill today, but because I got my skating in. But tomorrow I will be.
Yeah. So first costume's a stormtrooper.
Mm-hmm.
What's your first troop? What's your first troop?
So first costume's a stormtrooper, put it on, and believe it or not, I busted the belt. And so that's how I met Steve Gaza.
Okay.
So I messaged him, went to his house, he helped me fix it, which led into my first troop that he was going to. And it was not March of Dimes. It's the one Mammon runs that's now in May. It's a cancer walk in St. Charles.
Oh, okay.
So that was, I didn't have a bin. I used my hockey bag and laid everything in, including wrapping it all in the bubble wrap that it came from England in. And not knowing what to expect and how to get fully dressed by myself.
Uh-huh.
I think the troop stepped off at 8 or 9, and I was there at 5:30 in the morning.
I'm ready.
Didn't know what I'm like. I'm here. I'm texting Steve Gaza, and he's like, "Dude, you're way too early." Like, I couldn't sleep. I don't know what to do.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple armor bites later and some malfunctions, and it was good. And then I was bitten by the bug whenever I could get a troop that was local or like close to the house or whatever. I was gone.
You're there. Yeah. Nice. Yep. That's awesome. So what has been your favorite troop? Do you have one in mind or?
So I have, I mean, I guess it just depends on, I guess it'd be like almost like the venue. You can break it down into to doing so many. I really, I don't want to say I wanted to get involved with the Garrison or the Legion because of all the good things they do in regards to hospital troops and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's always been, those are some of my favorites, nice. And it's when you're an event coordinator for them, it's a tough position to be in, at least how I feel, is because I'd feel bad that if you came all the way from where you live to a troop up by me.
Yeah.
And when we go into the hospital, they're like, "Oh, we got a real low census, so we'll be done in like 20 minutes.
Oh.
But it's like, okay, I feel bad that you drove all this way, but on the other side of the coin, it's, well, that's a good thing because there's less kids that we have to go try and cheer.
Yeah. Right.
So it's fine. For the hospital troops I love. I started, my wife works for Northwestern.
Okay. She a nurse or?
I'm sorry?
She's a nurse?
Yes.
Nice.
So it was, I would always pester her to like talk to her boss to get us into the hospital to do hospital troops.
Okay. And nice.
It actually took the picture of me with Mimi where she's holding my hand.
That's you?
Oh, yes. That's me.
Mimi.
Really? I had no idea, dude.
That is me.
Wow. There's like a picture of a little girl holding a stormtrooper's hand, and we use that a lot in our promotional stuff, and that was Eric.
That's me.
Famous.
So I've actually stayed in contact with her mom, and that picture has, back in 2014 or whatever, it ran the internet. But I was able to use that picture to kind of explain to my wife's boss what we do.
Yeah.
And that got us into CDH or
nice.
Northwestern in Winfield.
Yeah.
And we were able to start putting together a hospital visit every 2 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. So that lasted up until COVID.
Yeah.
And now a couple guys are hounding me to get back to doing it. And I've asked, and it's kind of a little bit of a runaround. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get back to doing the hospital troops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I said, it depends on what it is. I've done hospital troops, which make me feel great.
Yeah.
I looked over your, kind of the questions you were going to ask me and stuff like that. And one of the ones I think I did before COVID, I did a special needs prom, and their theme one year was Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
We ran it, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
That doing those types of, like doing a hospital troop, you cheer the people up. Sometimes it's the parents more than the kids, but you're still a break from the monotony that goes on all the time.
Yeah.
And then doing more of the special needs stuff, whether it's something like that or the one in Skokie that we do.
Skokie Hospital.
Yeah, it's So, but when you do those, they really think you're real.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they love you, and that all they do is they'll tell you that they watch Star Wars all the time, and
Yes.
it's just an emotional train ride, and that's why you do it. It's not, there's the other perks that come along with it, but that's why I signed up. That's why I wanted to do it. Those are my favorites. Is when
that's cool. That's super cool.
It was Misericordia. So when you can do those types of events and stuff like that, it's it's amazing.
That's great.
But then again, I've done sporting events.
Right.
I've done a couple Cubs and stuff like that, and you get to walk on the field and
That's
stand
pretty
there
cool.
while Vader throws first pitch, and it's like, okay, this is kind of cool, but
This is cool.
Those are like the cool things, but the real reason I love to do it is the hospital
those,
and that it's making the kids happy because they think you're real, and it's awesome. You guys know it from experiencing kids and stuff. They come up to you and all that. That's where it's at. And everything else just becomes like a little bonus.
Right.
And it's like, it's your everyday job, and you're like, oh, I have to do that. Like, it's a fun job to always go to, I have to go here. But when you see, like, somebody, like, say, like, a little kid or special needs, they just, they enjoy every second.
Yes.
It's like, it's very emotional. It's like, it's like, it's my full-time job. It's like, I love it,
Yeah. Yeah.
I always joke that I'm trying to buy my way back into heaven.
Well, you don't get there by work, so don't.
I don't know,
but it does help.
It does help.
Me. It does help. But so what how many costumes you got now? What do you got?
Oh, it depends.
Okay.
I have 2 stormtroopers. I have my RS that I've kind of retired. I have an Novos. I have the Imperial crewman, which then you can convert into the TIE Reserve.
Right.
I owe a few people a Imperial officer. I want to do the white one. I got that kind of in the works.
Gotcha.
I will take submission photos for my Orange X-Wing to make Dana, head of the Rebel Legion, happy, since I've worn that probably 100 times and it doesn't really count, but kids love it and I can see. And then I have Kim Worley always wanted to have like her own Corsac squadron.
Okay.
So I have a green pilot that falls into that realm.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So how many total is that?
Depends. 5,
5-ish, 6.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing about like the TIE Reserve is like or the fire crew, you can kind of do a lot of different things with that. So
right. Yeah. I think when I think back at it, I think I kept my stormtrooper for at least a good 125 troops, and then it's like, I want a soft costume just to sit down and be like,
I'm about there with you, man. I'm like, I can't sit down. And
how do you think Mike feels? The Wookiee.
How do you think he sweat. We all sweat for Star Wars, but he really sweats for Star Wars. Yeah.
I did have the opportunity to wear Brad Hartsock's Wookiee one year. You're in a bunch of the pictures I post all the time for C2E2. It's you, me, and whatever. And that wasn't that bad. but Mike is a lot more animated than I would be, so that would definitely heat you up faster.
Right, right.
You know?
That's going to heat you up. Yeah, exactly.
One thing to stand there, it's another to start jumping around like he does. So good for
Right,
him.
he's dancing, he's doing the gritty, he's doing all the things, and it's like, okay, man, you know.
Some showed off.
Yeah.
Like, the also the Wookiee and the Gamorrean guard.
Oh yeah,
The Gamorrean guard.
Gamorrean guard's just a sweat box.
No,
That's
because
just-
it's latex too.
Yeah.
It's latex. That's the other thing. It's like,
yeah.
it's,
So we all got to lose some weight and get buff, and we can be the newer Gamorrean guards from the Mandalorian series.
Right, right. The Mandalorian guys, yeah,
Walk
they were
around skinny and be like, yeah, that's what I am.
right. Jabba's crew was just as portly as they were, but like
Lazy and fat.
and Mando, man, they were a little. Those two guys, I love those piggy guys.
but
I was so sad when they died.
no.
I'm like, no, not my piggy friends. No.
Well, how, the crew for Jabba had where they had to do like the eyes and all that stuff with the Jabba like.
Oh, you're saying when they're in Jabba himself?
Dude, I'm wondering how that felt.
Not good.
But what do you think they had lights in there for like, or like was it just pitch black?
Dude,
it probably
I don't
was.
know.
As
There's one guy as the tail. There's two guys
arm,
arm, and yeah.
Tongue.
What?
And the tongue for
And
Jabba.
the tongue guy.
and eyes.
The eyes were remote control,
Okay.
but I think it was 5 guys in a suit. I think.
Yeah, there was a fair amount in there for
Yeah.
sure. You can
about
find
that.
pictures, and if you go
Yeah.
on whatever Disney Plus and watch Making of Vampire
Yeah.
or whatever, all the originals, you'll hear some guy telling you, "I worked the tail. Good for you."
Yeah, we couldn't breathe. You know, like, hey, don't leave me in the tail. You know.
Yeah, don't forget about me.
Yeah, don't forget about me. Exactly. So, what gets you excited about Star Wars? Is there anything currently, or just the old stuff? What kind of keeps you excited about Star Wars?
I am really excited for Andor.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be awesome.
I like a hardcore story. I'm still a practical effects guy.
Yeah.
I get you can do so much with, whatever the volume they call it, or even computer graphics and stuff like that, CGI. But
Yeah.
I still like a mix of both, and I think the public likes it. So when you have a compelling story that's really driving forward, that some of the things I've read about the next Andor series is they're not just bringing in somebody to placate the Star Wars fans.
Right.
They're telling the story, and if that
telling the
character
story.
fit,
Yeah.
then maybe he'll be there, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
So I like that. I mean, that's the kind of
Season 1 was so good. Season 1 was so
the
good.
one when she's like fight.
Fight. Oh yeah, at the end she's like, fight the Empire. You're like, yeah, but wait, I like Imperials too. No. Yeah.
yeah. No, I like it. There's some good stuff. I really do enjoy. I really enjoyed the Bad Batch.
Oh.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the last season of the Clone Wars, where
Ahsoka.
everything's coming to a head, and
Yeah.
if you obviously, since we've watched everything and done everything, it's all you can see the mistakes. They did a great job showing you the mistakes that everyone made to get to this point. They
Yeah.
could have solved it all in one whatever.
Yeah.
So I like when it kind of plays like that, and it's
Yes.
not just floating around and let's
Yeah.
figure out this or that.
Yeah,
I think I know the Acolyte takes a lot of heat, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of concept, I think, in there that, depending if they flush it out and they follow some better basic rules,
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
have a better story, instead of just
Yeah.
saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, throw all this at the wall, and it's Star Wars, so you have to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, when you look at Acolyte versus like Andor, I mean, I think fundamentally it just came down to writing. Like, there's a couple speeches like that. What's the arms guy? What's his name?
Oh, Skarsgård?
Yeah, like his character,
Luther, right?
Luthen, I think it is. I mean,
I'm going
he's
to rewatch Andor before
Yeah.
the 22nd.
right, which is only 20 days away. Just throwing it out there.
What, the new Andor season?
Yeah, April's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot.
Yep.
We got C2 next week. We got Celebrations right after that. Then and then Andor pops in. So yeah, it's gonna be
They kind of done. I agree with. I agree with everything you guys said.
yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Listen to your elders.
That's right.
It's the. They did. I feel like they
It's-
had potential, but they used it very
Well,
wrong.
yeah, Eric said it best. It's like it's Star Wars, so you got to like it. And it's like, well, like I just feel like when you look at the writing and how you feel in Andor, it's just night and day compared to Acolyte.
Yeah, that
it really
one.
is. It's just like,
Well, one of the things when I sit down with friends like we're kind of doing now, and
Yeah.
we talk Star Wars,
yeah,
when you watch like the making of Star Wars, one thing they always said is Lucas's first wife, she really asked him questions and hit him hard. You know, would Han Solo say this? Well, no. Then go back and fix it. You know what he would do,
right.
and that, you know, that shows in his first trilogy. I think, not to bash the prequels, but
yes,
his producer had no balls or guts to sit
Uh-huh.
there and turn to George Lucas and go, you know
Say,
what? I
can't-
disagree.
yeah, we can't do
I won't
this.
say it in front of the crew, but you and I are going to go talk in this
Yeah.
room. And he was just a yes man. And I think that's part of the problem when people like try to dissect, the prequels and be like, this could have been this, but it's like, yeah, but we all know these things. And Lucas decided to do it all himself,
Yeah,
but
He's not.
yeah. I think what separates this too is that, and you mentioned this before, like because you like practical effects. When Star Wars is pushing the boundary all the time, but when he got to the prequels, he's got this new tool set, and so things got bigger with CGI, and you're not as limited. Again, Phantom Menace is a lot of miniatures. They did a lot of miniatures for Phantom
Right.
Menace, so it's kind of cool how it's not all CGI, even though a lot of people think there is a lot of practical effects in the prequels. But I think there's also just something about not having all that, and it keeps it tighter,
Right.
on just being practical and really the story driving that stuff,
I
so-
agree.
For the Acolyte, the only two good things.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go back
That's
to the
okay.
Acolyte.
The only good fight was the dark toothy fight
With the Darth Toothy, yeah, we
and
liked them.
we
We
saw
liked them.
Plagueis, right?
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
the only good two
That
things.
was good. That was
Everything
good.
else was like meh.
Meh, meh.
It was like they did have potential, but they used it very wrongly. Like
Yes.
like the green whatever that lady that Jedi, that rogue kind of Jedi.
Yeah.
That whatever.
Yeah.
And the witches
The
was,
one that she put the lie on the other Jedi. Yeah.
the witches I understood, but it was just very weird and just like
Well, we don't have to watch again.
yeah. But part of the problem is they kind of back themselves into a corner. I liked
Yes.
Obi-Wan, when I watched it, but just like the prequels, it doesn't matter what situation you throw Anakin, Obi-Wan Kenobi in, it doesn't matter. They do not die.
Yeah. Right. Right. There's
doesn't
less
matter.
stakes. Yeah. There's less. I mean.
With that, knowing that, your writing has to be better, because otherwise you check out going, we're just watching this because what?
It's Anakin and Obi-Wan,
Yeah, they have to meet again on the Death Star. So
Yeah. I mean,
you can
I
say
think,
say and do whatever you want, but
Right.
it doesn't matter.
right. And I think that's why like people are so intrigued with like Game of Thrones, these characters that you come to fall in love with. They could die at any second. Like,
Right.
and so like that brings a little bit more like, I'm really invested in this character, but I don't know if he's going to survive,
Like Dirge.
but like you said, Obi-Wan, we know the outcome. They're not going to die. They're going to meet again. So, soon. So,
Right. And there's some big crazy lightsaber battle. So give me 8 episodes of that.
yeah,
That's all anyone wants to see.
right. Exactly.
I mean,
So-
by that point they hate each other so much, or Anakin hates him so much. Just give me 4 hours of them lightsaber battling, and we'll call it a day.
Right. Exactly. So you mentioned hockey. Are there any other vices that you have besides Star Wars?
I like to unwind with a little video gaming now and then.
Oh, what kind of games do you like to play?
I am all over the board.
Okay.
I am a first person shooter
Yes.
by by trade. We used to be a big keyboard mouse guy on the PC, but I've switched to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Again,
You're a keyboard jockey.
I was not now. It's because I got to find balance. Because if I did set up a real nice rig in my office basement, my wife would never see me, and I wouldn't know if she moved out. So it's easier.
Where'd you go, hon?
Yep. It's easier to sit in the family room and play a little PlayStation and talk to her while she's making dinner, and then when she's like, "Hey, it's time for dinner," you turn it off and you put it away.
Right. Yeah.
So, but
I'm in the basement. Leave me alone. I'm gonna game for
No, I would just hear. I would hear her yell down, "I'm going to bed," and I'd have my headphones on. I wouldn't know, and then, and then it would be 4 a.m. and I got to be at work, and it would just be bad.
So. Yeah. It would be a bad thing. You know your limitations.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a new
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There's a new first-person shooter coming out. It's called Delta Force, and
Delta Force, yeah,
that looks really good.
Delta Force, okay.
It's like Call of Duty, and
it's kind of like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Call of Duty, and it's a lot like Battlefield too. It's like Call of Duty and Battlefield mixed together.
Yeah,
I like the Battlefields over Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. From
yes,
I did play the new Star Wars game. I thought it was pretty good. I thought
pretty good.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. I like
Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Yeah.
No, not those two. The other one.
Outlaw. No. Yeah.
Which one?
Outlaw.
Outlaw.
Yeah, we're still kind of going through that. That's nice.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's things you can do. We used to have COVID. We did Division 2, and there was a group of us that pretty much every morning at 9:00 played till noon. that was fun.
That's awesome, dude.
4 guys running around.
What do you want to do? I don't know. Play games for 3 hours. All right, it sounds good.
No. My wife was essential. I wasn't, so I just had to sit home with the dog.
Just hanging out.
so now I play No Man's Sky.
Oh wow!
Since 2016, but they constantly up it. It's for me. It's a good little vice.
Nice.
Actually, I've been kind of looking at Atomfall, which is new.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We just started playing that.
Did you? Okay, well,
it's really good.
Something to talk about in 2 weeks or a week, 9 days, whatever it is. Yeah.
So you have a PS5. You have to play Indiana Jones when it comes out.
I will.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we got 100% on it.
We got 100%. We did everything Indiana Jones would do, and we did it. Great.
Those are the types of games like that Star Wars Outlaw.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't leave a planet until I've pretty much found everything you can find. Do all the side quests, find all the little knickknacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Upgrade my gun because I'm a fan of just sniping. That's all I want to do. I just want to snipe.
That's one of my favorite things from Gears is the head when you get the
long shot.
The long shot that was just getting a headshot. It's so fun. Or any type of headshot.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Outlaws is really good. But yeah, when you get to Indiana Jones, so good. Like we were the same thing. I'm like, I'm not leaving because you get to travel a little bit, and they do like the map just like in the movies, where you see the red line and the plane stuff. I'm like, we ain't leaving this city until we get everything we need to get, and then we would move on. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, some people just try to skip like through halfway through the stuff. Like no, or like a good example of trying to find all their tchotchkes is Doom. Doom has so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of tchotchkes. So, all right, so. C2E2, man.
C2E2. Right around the corner.
Yes. I mean, it's happening. So it stands for Chicago Comic Entertainment Expo.
So why is there two?
Well, there's 2 C's because the Chicago Comic, and there's 2 E's. Entertainment Expo.
The why is there 2 2s?
Because there's 2 C's and 2 E's.
Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
Nope, learn something new every day.
Yeah, now you know. You can be like, hey, there's 2 C's and 2 E's. That's why it's C2E2.
I'll introduce you to the guy who runs C2E2, and you can tell him you figured that out.
Hi, I'm 12 years old, and I just figured this out.
I've been coming here for 5 years.
Yeah,
realized.
Right. So, It's a pretty big. I mean, this has grown a little bit. I think it started in 2010, um, and it was small, but now it's pretty large.
It's very big.
Wait,
Yeah,
is it one of the wait?
I don't know if it's one of the largest, but it's big. I mean, 70 at least 70,000, I would think.
Do you want to look it up?
Well, this one and
Are you talking 70,000 for size or per attendance?
attendance, yeah.
That's probably close because I do talk to when I see my contact who
Yeah.
he was originally involved at the beginning of C2E2 and they've kind of tried to push him out, but he won't
Yeah.
give it up.
Right.
When I saw him last year, he said all 3-day badges were sold, all day Friday and Saturday were sold out. Sunday was 90%. And
Yeah.
I get to know the security officer they knew, and he said they were expecting 50 to 55 on Saturday alone. So 70 is probably right, maybe a little bit low, but
Yeah.
it's a crazy event.
In what's it called? In
Well, it says 2020. It says
2090,000.
95,000. I don't know.
2020 was huge. That was right before
COVID.
Did we do 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020 was I remember my conversation with my contact Chris, and he was over the moon on how many people were there
and I was so like I'm a traditionalist. I'm like, it's in April, let's have it in April, keep it in April. And that one I think they pushed up. It was like February, end of February, early March, and I was like, I don't like this. And then the pandemic happened. I was like, that was the last thing we had before the world.
Yeah.
went.
Oh yeah.
And
It became like more special to me because it was like, oh my gosh, that was right before
COVID.
everything hit the fan, you know?
Yeah, everybody,
Right, exactly.
Everybody wanted to get TP and everything.
Yeah, that's before we had a raid for TP and all that. Yeah,
Well, in 2019 it was 90,000.
yeah. I mean, that's what Wikipedia's saying, but I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if they're pulling 50 on Saturday and
Yeah.
between 20 and 20 on Friday and Sunday, it to me it comes down to the guests,
Yeah,
and I mean, you're always going to get your usual crowd.
yeah, and I think also too, like again, there's other cosplay besides Star Wars. I know that's hard to believe, but like there's other cons that sometimes they're pretty close in timing, so that might be like, well, I can only choose one, and sometimes that does affect attendance as
What do you
well.
mean,
Like,
choose one?
well, like if there's a couple cons that are kind of close close in date, that sometimes it's they can't go to every one.
Yeah.
So you've been to our, obviously you guys have worked our booth and stuff at C2E2.
Yeah.
So how we have the droid wall for where it's looks like a sand crawler,
Yeah.
the walls of Jabba's palace or whatever.
Mhm.
So the guy that brings that will not be there this year because he's going to Japan. That was his choice.
Oh, right.
So there's your example of
Yeah.
people have to pick one con or the other.
Yeah, and like in 2019 when it was like the next week, I think, was Celebration Chicago. It was like C2E2 and Celebration Chicago. I'm like, I can't break my streak because I've been to C2 every year. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go one day, and then I'm gonna go to Celebration. But yeah, it's like when those things are close together, it's hard.
I broke my streak once.
Yes, you
But
did.
that was different because
Well, you had no choice. You had to get your androids out, your anoids and tonsils out. so.
that's
Hey,
different.
life gets in the way, little man.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
how it
that
works.
happens. So what do we got planned? What we got planned for C2? What makes Midwest Garrison fun at
best.
C2E2?
What makes Midwest Garrison fun at C2E2?
Everything.
Well, that's like a loaded question.
I know.
And you know what? I always say I'm very blessed to be the ringleader and have a great support group
Yeah.
to back me up, who helped me realize an awesome vision to represent our group to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So every year I work with, I have a committee. And
A committee.
I do have a committee. I know.
Okay.
What the heck?
So my committee, my
It's like a
C2E2,
team of people. A team. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
My committee for C2E2 is Dana, Bridget, Rudy. We do a post-mortem meeting
Uh-huh.
and we discuss everything that worked, everything that didn't work,
Mhm.
and then we'll meet. So if this year's in April, we'll meet in September and we'll already start planning for next year's C2E2.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
So we're bringing 2 new props this year.
Nice.
Not allowed to talk about it.
That's
or
right.
read
We'll keep it top secret, but it's coming.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what you need to watch, and you can figure it out.
Okay. You're listening. Taking notes? Okay.
Taking notes?
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
a little tea? I give you 2 words for what I think is going to be unbelievable set piece.
Okay.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
I already got an idea.
Oh. Okay.
I have had a beer, so you never know. I may spill the guts.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Got it.
That's it. Rogue One.
That's
all
it.
I'm going to tell you.
That's 2 words.
Oh, and our other set piece we're working on. You really should finish your Biker Scout. That's all.
Wow. Yeah. I have 2 ideas, or I think I know. But
well, I'd love to hear them if you want to take.
Well, one of them would be, if you're saying you got to finish your Biker Scout, then it's got to be the bunker in Endor is a good set piece. Could be
sure
with the doors, and then Rogue One
with the door when
Han and Leia are trying to open up
yes, I know. For Rogue One, what about the piece where they're like kind of going into the elevator, they kind of walk in there in disguise? That one.
I mean, you could also have the tank.
The tank.
No tank.
No tank.
We will. We did. So for C2E2, we try to spread it out. We try to bring a couple different set pieces and stuff. The Mandalorians are bringing their throne.
Okay.
Yes, we won't have the droid wall, but we'll have backdrops to do the droids. They'll still have the space. We are bringing the black box so people can take pictures.
Love the black box. Yeah,
that's awesome.
This will be the second year
with Rudy's.
We're doing
Falcon?
charity. No Falcon.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do. We're doing our charity is for lorries.
Okay.
So always photographs are always free and donations are always welcome.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a bunch of raffle prizes for people who I don't know. You're still going back and forth on if you make a donation or if there's a threshold, let's say $20.
Yeah. You get in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got some crazy giveaways that guys have donated and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it's C2's come a long way. I got involved running C2E2 in 2014.
Okay.
So I've been involved. I think this is my 11th year doing it.
Dang.
How long have you been going to C2?
Well, I went at the beginning when it was at the old McCormick place. So that's 2000. That was 2010. So
yeah, they were 2010. So
yeah. So like I mean, obviously I was a fan, and I didn't join till 2016, and my first troop was 2017 C2E2. So
okay,
it's kind of like an anniversary thing.
I think we were on the floor by then. They all start to blur together like a really good vacation.
Yeah, so that one I know we had an action figure backdrop with this, like the Star Wars card, and we were on. We were by the cosplay people, in 2017, where now it's like we're on the opposite side by the family people.
So the first year I ran it, we were upstairs off the beaten path in some little family HQ.
I do remember that.
What? Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
you're like boop. I was talking to people by then. I was like,
so what was
tell me about this club.
But
so it was like like how you go, where the DJ's at, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You go up the escalator, and there was a room there. That's
that's where we were.
DJ,
And the next year we were down. Now it's where you could pick up your tickets. The next year we were down there.
That's right. Yes.
And I had started doing LFL gigs in my Stormtrooper because there was Rogue One.
Yeah.
There was going back to like some fun things that I've done in my, like what are my favorite events?
Yeah.
The hospital stuff is always great, but the perks become, well, I fit the bill of a stormtrooper. So
Yeah.
I was able to do the Rogue One at the auto show.
Nice.
And it was a paid Lucasfilm gig.
Right.
But I got to know their person who handles it. So she was actually at C2E2 in 2016. And I ran into her and she's like, "Where's your booth?" I'm like, "Oh, we're down here by the fountain."
Yeah.
She's like, "That'll never happen again." And from that point on, we've been on the show floor.
Nice.
That's
That's awesome, dude.
So
you can't
and it's kind of like that weird butterfly effect. Like if that didn't happen, you didn't meet this person, like we're like, oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
Like, and it's like kind of secretive. It's like, oh, it's like usually a lot of people take photos, do like videography and stuff down there, but it's like it was not like an obvious place to like set up down there. It's like
Not by the fountain.
no,
No,
it's like
no,
when you shoot
we
up,
were-
it's like
No, but there's so many good people. Like I said, C2E2 and our booth and our space, I could never imagine it being this, let alone what it's become without the members of all the clubs.
All the clubs come
not
together,
Not just the Garrison, it's the Rebel Legion, it's the Mandos, it's the droids, it's it's out of town people that the texts, the private messages, everything I'm getting now leading up to this is just, "Hey, we're coming in. Can we change in your booth?" Yeah,
sure.
You're gonna have space for me. I don't know. I haven't talked to my contact. And then people are always like, "Well, I haven't talked to your contact." Well, because I know they're busy doing other things.
Right. And we'll
if,
figure out when we get there.
They're going to be on a plane to go to Japan for Star Wars Celebration. So you really think I want to, upset them over that?
So Repop is doing Celebration as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's Repop?
Repop is the company that kind of organizes everything, and so they're the ones that run some of these larger cons. So C2E2 and Celebration.
Yes.
So like some people that probably work in C2E2 are going right away to Japan, and
So
that
wait,
kind of
so
stuff.
it's C2E2 then Celebration?
Yeah, C2E2.
So Celebration's where this year?
Japan. Yeah. It's a little expensive.
Why?
So a couple years ago when they did Celebration in Europe,
Yeah.
I would talk to my contacts and get to go, and they'll fly in for C2E2 on Monday.
Uh-huh.
And they'll stay till Monday.
Right.
They got to set everything up.
Set everything up. Yeah.
They literally will leave on the Monday after C2E2, and then they will fly to Japan, and they will be there for a week.
Wow.
So when I was talking to my contacts when it was in Europe,
Yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, I won't be home for 3 weeks."
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's crazy when like I said, when these things are close in proximity. I mean, you're basically closing the show and going to open up another show. So,
right.
Yeah,
was Celebration 1 year in Chicago somewhere, or is it?
Yeah, we went.
When? Last year?
Oh, 2019.
Dude, too many video games are rotting your brain.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to. I have a good memory, but very short.
Okay, Goldfish.
Okay. Oh man. So again, if you're in the Chicago area, you haven't done it yet, go to C2E2.
Yes.
Come see us. We have a great booth. We're by the family HQ. So we will enter C2E2. We're on the far right side, and
it's the best place.
Yeah,
we got. Let's see. I think we'll have a bunch of programming. On Friday, we're doing Star Wars Story Time.
Nice.
On Saturday, we have Star Wars Trivia with Jeffrey Brown, the author, will be emceeing it.
Nice.
We have, our usual group photos. We have the Imperial Original Trilogy March.
Saturday.
Sunday,
right?
we have another Star Wars Story Time, and Jeffrey Brown will actually be reading.
Nice.
On those days, and then
awesome.
Sunday afternoon, Jeffrey Brown will teach you how to draw Star Wars.
Yeah, I grew up with Jeffrey Brown.
Yeah, we love Jeffrey Brown.
I grew up growing up, but you're right.
What?
As a kid.
Kid.
Yeah, I'm like
yeah. Like, now you're like just a kid. Yeah, right. I know.
As like a toddler, like
Right.
toddler baby, I grew up with. those
Right,
books. I
right.
used to have
So,
them.
well, anyways, we're super excited. I love C2E2, and I'm glad that I got to see your face before C2E2. So,
Yes.
but it's always good to see
You
your
remember
face.
what I look like when I got the badges to let you
Yeah,
in?
yeah. Like, oh, that's him. Oh, I like that guy. That guy's awesome.
Well, it's a good thing I saw Little T because I'd be like, "Who the hell's this guy?"
Yeah, right, right. Who's this dude?
Yeah, I picked them from the alley back.
Yeah, right. All right,
You
we're gonna do
never
a speed
know.
round to finish this up. Okay, you go
Oh,
first.
okay, all right.
Here we
all
go.
right.
Here
I
we go.
wrote down my answers,
Favorite
but I won't
movie.
say that.
All right, Harry. All right, get ready. Here we go. Here we go.
Favorite movie?
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire.
That's the correct answer. Yes.
What's
Your
it
choice.
Uh, favorite starship, spaceship.
It's kind of a tie.
Okay.
I want the Millennium Falcon, but I would love to fly an X-wing.
Ooh, those are good.
Favorite weapon?
What's your favorite weapon? Yes.
DL-44.
DL-44.
DL-44. You know what that is?
No.
You don't?
Is it the clone trooper one?
Nope.
What is it?
It begins
hang
with
Wait, wait.
Is it this?
Oh, it's Han's gun.
it's Han's gun. Yes.
Good
Yes.
pistol.
And again, like most of the weapons, they dressed up real weapons, and it's
Oh
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
I figured this out today that I was playing with. I was just messing around with my action figures, and but Boba Fett's gun is actually a revolver. It's a part revolver. They cut off the front of the gun to extend the barrel, and added what's it called, a
stock.
a stock, and that's in the. I was like, oh, that's a revolver.
Yeah.
It has the handle that's the revolver and the chamber.
Yeah. What's Han Solo say about hokey religions?
Huh? Hokey religions?
Yes, hokey religions.
Hokey.
Hokey religions and
I don't
Ancient
remember.
weapons.
ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, bro.
I'm not.
DL-44. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not taking away your Star Wars.
It's my
card.
speed round, not yours.
Yeah,
So-
right.
We delay so much.
You go.
No, I did the weapon.
Oh, okay. Favorite creature.
I struggled with this. I'm gonna just go with the Wampa because I think he's a misunderstood.
Yes.
He's misunderstood.
Rank-
I
yeah.
love a Wampa. I love a good Wampa.
They're fun.
Wampas are great.
Yeah. Favorite character.
Han Solo.
Really?
I've always wanted to be Han Solo.
Wow.
Is it
But again,
Han?
I'm old and I saw the original Star Wars.
You're like,
It's Hansel, not.
well, okay.
Wait.
Lando calls him Han. It could be Han or Han. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
I want to be
yeah.
Solo. How's that?
Yeah.
I'll give you a
But I was like-
pronunciation of his first name.
I'm like, I've heard that before too.
I've
Like,
heard-
but
yeah.
is there a correct way or?
It's
It's like a catch-22.
yeah.
So another reason I wanted to do Star Wars is ever since I saw the opening scene of A New Hope, which
Yeah.
when I saw it, it didn't have that title, was the stormtroopers busting in on the Tantive 4, and I'm like, those guys are cool. So it's a stormtrooper, but over the years, I just think Han Solo is just the bomb. He's the man.
Yeah, he's fantastic, dude.
Yeah. What happened?
Nothing. It's all
If I
good.
don't quote him every day at some point during the day, then something's wrong.
Right.
he's
What's
sick.
wrong with my life? Yeah,
He's
yeah.
sick or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, are you sick? Are you not quoting? What's going on?
You know, my wife gives me a hard time. I'm like, maybe you'd like it back in your cell, Your Highness. I don't know.
Or when, every time she says I love you, and you're just like, I know.
Oh, that is our go. That's our
Yeah.
go. Either one of us. If I say it to her, I'll get that back. So
Right.
Han
Exactly.
Solo's my guy.
There you go. All right, give me something as we end this. Give me something that you're grateful for.
I am thankful that I was given the opportunity to join this group.
Hmm.
The friends I've made, the journey I've been on, I think I'm very humble for it. With everything that's going on in the world, and not to get preachy, this is just a good group that when you can put all that aside, we are all really into this for the same reason.
Yeah.
And I'm just some of the things I've gotten to do, and and see and take part of is just, if I hadn't done it, I never would have had the opportunity to do it. And it's just amazing to me, and I'm very grateful for
That's awesome.
being able to see those things.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Very cool. All right, so for our Light It Up All section, what's your favorite memory of C2E2 or your favorite Comic-Con? You can email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. Do you have a favorite memory so far?
I do.
Better not be CM Punk.
I remember. I still.
It's like an old wound that just festers, you know.
Until he gives me some street cred, I'm gonna bash him.
Well, what's your favorite memory?
I remember one year that I was following the stormtrooper. I thought it was you.
Yeah.
I was just running after him.
You're like, I want to be that stormtrooper. Yeah, exactly.
That's one of my favorite memories. It's just sweet and wholesome, and it's just
Yeah.
very fun.
Last year too with Sting was awesome.
Oh, Sting! I
That was
cried.
great. Yeah, that was great. We cried both. I love you, Sting. Okay. So, all right, let's wrap this up. Okay, Space Wizards, Plastic Statesman, and Rebel Princesses. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Big T, Little T, 211 in the book. Bada bing, bada boom.
Wow.
So
It's
there we
awesome.
go. You can find us on the socials, Big T, Little T Podcast on Instagram, BLILT Podcast on the X, Twitter. We're on the Blue Sky, Big T, Little T Podcast .bsky.social.
That's new.
It's kind of a mouthful, but it's okay. And then we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big T, Little T, where we got to get back to that. We haven't been streaming in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll play some Fortnite or something.
Or play something.
Something. There you go. Eric, is there any socials that you would like to share? Are you out there?
No, I keep to my own.
That's fine. And that is great.
I'm old school, man.
Let's go. Hey, give me a call. Give me a holler.
I still got the soup can with the wire, so you know, I'm just gonna pick it up and
That's
give
why I
shout
couldn't get a
out.
hold of you. My soup can wasn't long enough. You know?
There you go. See.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show again. It was an absolute pleasure, and we're so excited to see you next week when
9 more days.
9 more days.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the invite, guys. Anytime you need someone just to rap with, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm very
I think we should have him back on one after Andor, because Andor is going to come and it's going to be hot and heavy. It's going to be like so much.
It's like,
Just like
I'll be on
fire
your
hose,
post
every week.
C2E2 post Andor watch, and we'll just
do it.
drink a bunch of beer, smoke some cigars, and talk about everything we didn't like about it.
There you go. That sounds great. Hey, so we got stickers. We want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, and rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. You can email us at bigtlittlepodcast at gmail.com if you want to drop us a question, give us a rating, all that fun stuff. We want to throw swag in your face. We'll have some swag at C2E2.
Yes.
We got a hot business card. That's a trading card. It looks great.
Yes.
And we can be handing that out.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a special surprise that we're working on with Trent. So,
Yes. And
All right.
and there's another good memory.
oh,
Well, I think was it.
we're trying to wrap up here.
Okay.
We're trying to wrap up. Yep.
Was it
yep.
with the what was the talk? Like somebody was talking, and I had my pork, and I was on your shoulders.
That was Celebration.
So and that was one of my but it was a
It's
fun-
still Star Wars related.
But
It
I
was-
remember we were trying to get on camera, and you just see me all the way in the back on the shoulders with my pork, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
we got on the live stream. Like,
There you go.
Yeah,
There
so-
you go.
we're in the books.
we're forever cemented in, not fermented.
You can
cemented.
find me on YouTube.com.
Yeah. We're on the YouTube stream for Star Wars Celebration. There you
That
go.
was awful.
So next week we'll probably be talking a little bit like C2E2.
Yes.
Probably should interview some people there too.
Yes.
Maybe we'll interview
You guys
Eric
should do a
again.
live podcast from C2E2.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
From
Just like interview people, like,
Yeah,
hey, what do you
yeah.
think of Star Wars?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Star Wars is bad. I'm like, then what do you like? Star Trek? Star Trek sucks too. No,
No, Star Trek is good. It's
I haven't
just
watched it.
it's just different. So okay, how do we answer
You
this?
got to start in the third season of the Next Generation, and then you'll be sold.
That's right. There you go. That's a good advice right there. All right, how do we end this?
Truly wonderful to mind of Trial is.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, because I've done
You're
it
a professional.
I've overdone it like over
You've done it and done it. Yeah,
for years,
exactly.
so yeah.
Say,
Some-
hey, little T, just go, hey, we've run long. Goodbye.
Our tokens
Get
are
off.
done. We're done.
Wasting my bandwidth.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. May the
Gentlemen,
force
thank
be
you
with
so
you
much.
always. Bye. Thanks, lady.
I guess I got to say okay.
Yeah. Right. Please. Thank you. So yeah. You got any questions? You're good?
No, I'm good.
You
You got
good?
like a 10-second delay plus, video blackout just in case something goes off kilter,
Yeah. Yeah. Or you say something that you don't want to say. It's like, oh well, we'll pause here and
No, all good. All good.
okay, you good?
Yeah, right.
All right, here we go. All right.